My name is Becca Carter, and I am a Habitat homeowner. So before we lived in a small 2-bedroom condo. We lived there for about 5 or 6 years, and it worked for us, but I was renting. So about 2 years before I moved out, my landlord had owned a couple of units in our building, and she decided to sell a couple of the units, and she was originally going to sell mine. So at one point I was thinking, I'm going to have to move, and I was really liked my location, and moving even with renting, I mean, it can be 10 grand between security deposit and, you know, first, last, and rent prices at the time were even higher than they are now. So I wasn't sure like how I was gonna do it. And I always felt this like cloud of gloom and doom over my head, knowing I don't know where I'm gonna live in a couple months. And does that mean that my daughter's school district is gonna change? And, you know, it was a lot, and it was a roller coaster, because then every year after, I felt the same way. So my daughter, I'm a single mom, so it's just me and her. Our apartment was just enough for the two of us, barely that. So we were always a little bit cramped. And when you're living in a rented place, you can't really make it your home. You know, you dress it up a little bit, but it's never really your heart, because it's not yours. But being able to own my own home, has opened some additional doors or so many extra doors for us. You know, we're able to customize the house. We've painted the kitchen, and, you know, she's painted her bedroom, and I can put permanent fixtures up that I couldn't before for, you know, stressed about having to fix it later. Also through Habitat and volunteering, I learned different ways to, you know, help take care of my home in the future. So I was really thankful for that, because that was always a feeling when I was buying a home. At the same time, I was like, I'm handy, but I'm not that handy. So, you know, learning different ways for me to, you know, repair a wall, or just having that confidence really helped me moving into, you know, my own home, and knowing that I had more knowledge and confidence and experience. When they told me, because they invited me in, and, you know, Habitat likes to surprise. So they invited us just to the event to meet some people before they made the decision, is what I was told. So we get there, and when she actually, you know, told me in front of everyone that they had selected me for that address and that they were working on my house, I mean, I cried like a baby, because this is a dream that I've had for over 14 years. You know, to own my own home, to not need someone else to be able to help me pay the bills. And I had this weird dream. I was a newly single mom with a 3-month-old baby, and I was homeless about 14 years ago now. And I had the dream while I'm sitting there homeless, staying at someone else's house, and with my little baby, that, you know, her dad would have to come and pick her up from my home that I owned, that I didn't need his help to get there. So being able to realize a dream that I had thought about for so long, you know, it's a blessing that's hard to even put into words. It's been so fun the last year, and to be able to see all of the different things that have happened, and, you know, both, you know, our hearts flourishing. There's been a lot of changes. So in our 2-bedroom condo, there was enough space for her to maybe have like one friend over. And as she's grown and matured and been able to just kind of flourish and know that she's, you know, she customizes her room. Her walls are completely covered with posters, because early teens, I mean, that's what you do. And she's even painting the walls in her room, and that's something that we couldn't have done at our old, you know, in any other renting apartment. And she's able to have friends over. Honestly, our house has become the hangout house with her entire friend group. I mean, I would say personally for me, it's also been the experiences that we've been able to have together. You know, painting the walls together. You know, that's something new that we've never been able to do together. I actually had, sitting outside the other day, there's a tree that Habitat planted October of last year. And I just kind of had this realization that I felt like my family, my daughter and I, were like the roots of this tree. And I've been able to watch this tree grow and triple in size in the last year. So I pictured that the roots were us, and then the tree itself and how we've watched it grow from the ground up has been our home and our life now, and that wouldn't have been possible without Habitat.